Hi guys, I'm Mike Gonzano. This is the Swim Coach Mike YouTube channel, and today we're going to talk about, are rules the thing holding your team back, or do you need more rules to make your team better? So let's talk about this first. Okay, so in the past, let's say 18 months, you have seen lots and lots of rules being enforced on you. If you're in the United States, it really depends on your city or state, but from mask mandates to curfews, no outdoor dining, you name it, there's tons of different rules. They've been enforced, they've been put in place, okay, right? And they did matter up until you saw people not following them and nothing happened. And when I say people, I mean the people that created these rules, our mayors and our governors. The moment they stopped following those rules and it got put up on social media, them eating out at dinners, them going to these parties, that sort of thing, I'm telling you, the first thought you had was, oh, so these rules don't matter. Yes, the rules had a purpose. Every rule has a purpose. But as soon as you see people breaking the rule without repercussions, what's the point? And I would argue the same thing happens on a lot of teams and a lot of classrooms too. Think about the worst teacher you've had. They probably had a lot of rules for their room. But by the end of the year, was anybody following the rules? Or was the rules even followed by the book strictly? No, I would argue no. So here's what I think. I don't think you need more rules to make your team better. I do think you need some rules, but they're broad, overarching rules that kind of cover each other. So let's talk about rules that a lot of teams have. Some are, and these are all good things. You're gonna hear these and you're gonna think those are all good things. Those rules should be in place. So here we go. Be on time, work hard, be respectful, be a good teammate, have your equipment, pass your classes, eat 3 meals a day, go to sleep on time, don't drink or do drugs. All of those things are good things. And if every athlete did that, I believe they would be a better athlete and a better person. But do you actually need a rule for them? Let's talk about like drugs and alcohol, right? There's already rules for that. We have laws in place for that, actually, depending on your age. So there's already a rule for that. It's already enforced. So I'm just gonna say, what happens if there's an athlete on your team who's drinking or doing drugs and you don't know about it, but your teammates know, the teammates know about it? A lot of times, especially in that situation, most of the team knows for a while before the coach finds out. And really everybody knows it's bad, but that chips away at the team rules. So I'm not saying don't have that rule, I'm just saying that's an example. Another one is be on time, right? Coaches, I feel you here. So many times we're standing there saying, get in the water, get in the water, get in the water, right? So what do? So say you have a be on time rule. If you're not on time, then you're gonna do 100 push-ups, 20 push-ups, whatever the disciplinary action is, right? So one, you have to make sure you do that every single time. Because like I said before, the moment you miss out on that consistency is the moment the rule doesn't matter. And what are you gonna do if you're late? I probably have, I would say, one morning practice a season that I'm late. One always gets me. I'm not perfect, I wish I was, but there's always one where I show up late. And I'm telling you, when I walk into that door late, I do not want to do push-ups. And again, some of you might be saying, well, you should do push-ups, you're late. But I just don't think that's the culture you want on the team. So if you have that rule, be on time, right? And you have teammates starting to come in late, their teammates are gonna start looking at them with animosity. And I'm gonna tell you that does not build the team. So I think instead of rules, I think you should have standards, right? So when I talk about standards, I mean, these are overarching rules, overarching guidelines that would cover most of the bases. I don't have a solution for you on how to make sure kids show up on time every single day, or I don't know, to make sure your kids go to bed on time. In my experience, that if you set the bar high enough on your team and you build up a higher level of performance and a higher level of people, that stuff happens naturally, okay? If you, at the same time, if you allow things like that to happen, then showing up late, not working hard can run rampant. So I know what I just said sounds contradictory to what I said, at any point in this, I'm not saying don't have rules. I'm just saying watch out. If you're standing there making 15 rules that you think is going to make your team better, there's a good chance you're doing too much. So here are my 3 rules. Respect the coaches, no matter what. You got to respect the coaches on our team. If you're disrespectful to a coach, I will light that swimmer up in front of everybody. Whether it's me or another coach, it doesn't really matter, but you have to respect the coaches on our team. Whether, I don't care if it's the coach who coaches the 6-year-olds and they walk by our high school group has to show respect. The next thing is tell the truth, or at least don't lie. If you're a fan of Jordan Peterson, then you know that's actually a chapter in his first book, 12 Rules for Life. But honesty is a big thing. And it's a big rule because you can't move forward. In my book, you can't move forward until you're honest. Tell me why you're late. Tell me why you didn't do X. Tell me what your actual times are. I need honesty. I can't coach you if you're not honest. If you're not honest about where you're at, where you want to go. Honesty, the lack of honesty destroys relationships. And like I said, the opportunity for me to be the best coach possible to you. And then the last rule, let's see. If you're a distraction to the team that day, you will go home. Simple as that. So that distraction rule, I would say that's more for older kids. Younger kids, I would say 10 and unders, depending. A lot of times they're learning that, right? But those are my 3 rules. Don't be a distraction, be respectful, don't lie. And do I have swimmers that walk in late? Yes, I do. Do I have swimmers who don't work hard that day? Yes, I do. But I don't tackle that with a rule. I tackle that by pulling them out of the water and I say, hey, do you know why I want you here on time? And I lay out the why. Do you know why it matters to me that you work hard? Or I ask them, hey, why didn't you work hard today? Or I ask them, do you feel like you worked hard today? And I see what their response is. But if I have rules for everything, then it becomes a follow, don't follow type of thing. Where if you can handle it on an individual basis, talking to somebody, I think you can make better changes that way. So the last thing I have for you is when it comes to rules, I have some hard no's when it comes to rules, okay? And some of these things happen when you're emotional and you're mad. Either you're having a bad day or your team is just sucking that day, which I have kicked out an entire team out of workout before. It's only happened about twice, but I've done it before. Strict rules, don't do this. Here's a rule for you coaches, actually. Don't make up rules on the fly. If you don't think through your rules and you don't think through the follow-up, okay, how am I gonna follow up with each athlete? How am I gonna communicate this to the team and the parents? Making up rules as you go removes consistency, which removes trust from you. Don't disrespect the athletes who break the rules. These are kids, they are learning. You're an adult. You understand things at a higher level than them. So when I talk about disrespect, I'm talking about holding grudges over an athlete. So you have that athlete that walks in every day and you start making these snide remarks, like what makes you different than a high schooler? If you're gossiping about them, that sort of thing. So as a coach, I'm calling you to do something to be greater in that situation. Don't disrespect athletes who are breaking the rules, but be swift in correcting that and talking to them. So if there's say one of my big rules is disrespecting coaches. If a kid were to continuously break that rule, they would be off my team. That would be pretty simple. They would be off my team. And then the last one, cave on your rules under pressure. If one breaks, they all break. So if you have a rule and you've thought about it and you're like, we need to have this rule, then you better stick to it. Otherwise, why would they believe anything else you say? If you guys like this video, like it, share it, subscribe. My goal here is to help teams be better. And I'm talking to you from the perspective of a swim coach. I coach for City of Midland Aquatics in Midland, Texas. And you can follow me on Instagram, Swim Coach Mike, Twitter, @MikeGonzano. That's really it. But you guys have a great day and be easy on the rules. Set the bar high. You don't need rules to have a high bar. Have a great day.